All right, we'll get started here. We'd like to welcome Parker Coody in white and Pierceson Coody in blue to the interview room at the Honda Classic. Parker got in through the Open Qualifier this morning via playoff, and Pierceson playing this week on a sponsor exemption. So, Parker, I'll start with you. How cool was it to have the opportunity to qualify this morning and join your brother in the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than staying at home or watching him this week. But I feel like I keep saying that. But, I mean, the goal was obviously to get to this week. I wasn't playing the Monday qualifier just to play. So happy to be out here and happy to make my first PGA Tour start as a pro.
And Pierceson, we know you've got this opportunity and a couple others coming up next few weeks. So how cool is it to be able to make your first start as a pro on the PGA Tour as well?
It's awesome. Just really happy to be out here. Thank you to Andrew George, tournament director. And like you said, I get to play a few others in the next few weeks. So this will be really nice to start off kind of a good stretch of golf for me back in the States after playing a lot internationally for the Korn Ferry. So I'm just really looking forward to the next 3 or 4 weeks and hopefully make the most of it and play well.
All right, we'll take some questions out here. If you have a question, we'll get a microphone to you. Start with Jeff.
How much more meaningful is it for you guys to be able to do this together this week?
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, we said this a decent amount, but the goal is to play the tour together. So, I mean, this is obviously a great step in that direction. And, I mean, hopefully in 5-10 years we're still doing this. But, yeah, I mean, to be able to both make our tour starts as professionals together, I mean, I think it's something we'll always remember. I couldn't agree more. It'll be really cool for our parents. Dad's caddying for Parker this week. Mom's flying in. So it's turned into a good week, and it's turned into a really special week that hopefully we make the most of.
One in the back there.
Have either of you played the Champions course, and what do you make of the course?
Neither of us have played. I got to play the full 18 yesterday, and Parker just finished up the back 9 this morning. It's really good. It's really tough. You have to hit a lot of great iron shots. You have to lag putt really well. So there's no shortage of good golf shots required. So it's different than a lot of the courses we play out in the Korn Ferry, so it's a really good test. And, just happy to see how my game holds up.
With the connection to Jack Nicholson with your grandfather, what does it mean to be playing in this event that's hosted by him?
Yeah, I mean, our granddad was a great tour pro for many years, and I mean, he's told us a few stories of whatever playing with Nicklaus or coming down the stretch, and I think anything you associate yourself with Jack Nicklaus is something to really be proud of. And for our granddad to be able to see this week, I mean, I know he wishes he was here, but for the connection with our granddad, Jack Nicklaus, and then us being here this week, I think, yeah, it's a really special week. And like Pierceson said, just trying to build off it. Same thing. He's given us a lot of advice. He's referenced Jack. He's referenced Arnie, all those great players that he played with. So to see the Bear logo around this week and just kind of think of some of the little tidbits that he's given us about Jack is really cool.
Speaking of family connections, like you said, you've got your dad on the bag this week, Parker. Has he done that before, or is that the plan moving forward? And how special is that to have him?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been able to caddy for Pierceson and I for our first tour starts. Mine was the Shriners, his having to be the Byron Nelson, but he's caddied a good amount for my granddad, and I mean, he's caddied in the Masters, he's a lot of the Champions Tour events, so he knows what he's doing, which is really helpful. And I mean, we've made a good team so far this week. He helped me get through, and I think it'll be an asset this week. So.
Parker, how early did your day start today? You just opened with the playoff. How many holes? Did I hear you hit a flag stick out there? Or?
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever. Wake up at 5:30. I mean, playoffs start at 8, so wake up 5:30, usual warm-up and everything, and then luckily played one hole. I mean, I was out of there by 8:20, 8:25, and I was on property here by just right after 9. So, I mean, it was a quick turnaround, that's for sure. I mean, I was on the tee at 10 o'clock playing, which, I mean, you're always thinking about, like, well, I mean, you're not always thinking about it, but there's always the what if, or I don't make it, like I should have made it on the number, whatever, all that stuff. So for not having a guaranteed start to then getting the guaranteed start to already being in here with y'all is, yeah, it's been a quick morning, and I still got to go play the front nine at some point. But yeah, it's gonna be a long day.
And how did you win the playoff?
Oh yeah, I hit it exactly. I mean, we're talking 3 yards off where I was in the first round. I hit it 3 feet, and I was able to this morning. Cannot have been the same shot, but yeah, landed just short. I don't know if it took 1 or 2 hops, but I think it took a couple hops and just squared the flagstick, and it was a foot. I mean, at that point, I was just dodging a few putts, and luckily I think I could handle the 1-footer. So
How many guys did you have in the playoff?
it was 3 for 5, and so 2 guys birdied, including myself. 2 guys birdied the first, and then, to tell you the truth, I don't know who made it the last guy out, but
What'd you hit in? What was your club in?
I was 59 yards.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just opened up a lob wedge and pitched it back there. So,
And for each of you, when things are going really well, what do you see? Each one of you, what do you see as the strength of your game? Biggest individual strength of it?
When I've had my couple wins out in the Corn Ferry, I've had really just kind of crazy hot weeks with the putter. So I would like to rely on that more, but I like to think that I do a lot of things pretty decent, and just kind of keeping the ball in a good position off the tee, and then running in some 15, 20 footers seems to be the case when I'm playing well. So I guess just a consistent tee ball and a hot putter.
I mean, I like to think my iron play is pretty solid, so hopefully use that a lot this week. But yeah, usually, obviously, I mean, just like Pierceson said, keep the ball in front of you, good iron play, and I mean, if you're going to play well, everyone's got to have a hot putter that week. So make a few putts.
Any other questions?
I mean, there's legendary stories about how competitive you guys are, obviously, with the Texas stuff. Where does that come from within, and how much of that competitive fire in each of you drives the other one?
It's something that I pretty confidently can say that we're both thinking about. I never want him to even get close to me. I don't. So like, it's but I'm always so happy when he does well, and I think he feels the same way. It's we're always trying to beat each other by as many shots as possible. We love to compete off the golf course also. So, but it's a very healthy relationship, and we have a great time doing it. It's just once you're in the moment, you're trying to see how fast you can run.
Parker, you said you played the back.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So there's like a rule around here that anybody who plays here has to be asked, how do you prepare for changing wind conditions? And since you played the back, what do you think of bear trap?
I mean, I think with the wind, hopefully it doesn't swirl too much. But with the I mean, this will be my first time really with some big grandstands. So I mean, just really knowing where the wind's coming, because you obviously don't feel it on those tee boxes. It's way too surrounded. But yeah, I mean, you just got to control your ball. Everyone has to deal with it, which is the nice thing. So as long as you know what you're doing, or at least you think you know what you're doing, and then go from there. Sorry, what was the second part? Oh, yeah, the bear trap was awesome. I mean, I've only watched guys hit shots over and over in highlights. I mean, it's cool to finally see it and play it and be able to play in this setting. So, I mean, hopefully I'm not on some Instagram post saying something dumb, but no, it'll be a fun week to really get to play it in competition.
Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.